Hi everyone, welcome to MSUNN Yoga and Wellness. I'm Dr. Melissa, and today we're going to be doing a yoga flow all for people who have any aches and pains in their hips or any tightness. So grab your mats and let's do this. So pesky hip pain can be limiting you with some of your activities. A lot of times the muscles in the front of our hip or behind our hip can be causing some tightness. We can get some weakness in our glutes, so we're gonna target all those things in our class. So to get started, if you have a tennis, a lacrosse ball, I love the rad round balls, we're gonna start doing our gluteus medius muscle, which if you take your hands, find that hip bone, and you're just gonna move about 2 inches towards the back, and you're gonna place the ball right there. We're gonna lay on that side. So coming down onto your side, and you're just gonna kind of roll until you find that like, whew, I found it, that spot. You can kind of roll forward or backwards, or maybe just try to relax over it. If it feels too intense, you can always take a towel or a blanket and put it on top of the ball so it gives yourself a little extra cushion. Just trying to breathe and relax into it. Each spot you want to do for about 30 or 60 seconds. Maybe you roll forward or back, or if this doesn't feel intense at all, you can take that bottom leg and kind of lift that bottom leg up and back down. Back up. Oh, I can really feel that. I'm gonna leave my leg down. So either one are options for you. Just nice and relaxed into it. And I want you to remember what this side feels like, because we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Maybe kind of shift your hips a little bit forward and roll. Try and find like one more spot there. Nice breath in and let it go. Okay, we're gonna switch over towards the other side. So same thing, so you find that bone outside of the hip, kind of work your way back 1 inch or 2, ball goes right in that spot. You're gonna come down onto your side, find a spot. Maybe this side's not as sore as the other one, or maybe it's the complete opposite. Just trying to relax into it. Use that breath, same thing. If you want it to be a little more intense, you can lift that bottom leg up and down. Maybe you roll forward or backwards, but same exact thing, 30 or 60 seconds each spot. If you have one side that's a little more tighter than the other side, you can always go back and just spend a little extra time on that side. Good, we're gonna take one more nice breath in. Exhale, let it go. Then we're gonna take that ball and put that off to the side. And you're gonna come up onto your knees. If you have 2 yoga blocks, you can grab those, or if you have a chair, or you don't need anything at all, I'm gonna use them. My hamstrings are really tight. So we're gonna take our right leg, step our right leg straight out in front. Okay. So the right foot, you want to be pushing the right foot into the ground. As you push the foot into the ground, you're going to feel that outer hip kick on. Think of pressing to create space here. The back knee, you want to be pushing down into the ground and almost like you're dragging it forward, so you feel a nice big stretch in the front of that hip. So we're going to inhale, float those arms, lift all the way up overhead, lengthen up. And then you're going to slowly straighten the front leg. If you've got the blocks, the hands can come to the blocks. You're pulling your right hip back, left hip forward. Try and lengthen through the crown of your head. Bend through that knee. Press into the foot. Inhale, lift those arms, come all the way up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward. Straighten the front leg. Just feel a nice pull down the back of that thigh. 2 more times. Bend through the front knee. Inhale, float those arms, lift all the way up overhead. So sometimes with hip pain, the front of our hips can be really, really tight. And then those glutes in the back don't want to fire, can't, because the front's so tight. You can't get into that range of motion. Good. We're gonna bend one more time. Inhale, lift those arms, come all the way up overhead. Exhale, straightening out through that front leg. Okay, so from here, what I want you to do, I'll spin all the way around, but I'll show you on the side. So I want you to spin to face the side. That leg stays straight. So right leg is out, down on that left knee. Just come down onto those hands. Maybe you feel a nice stretch in the inner thigh. And then you're gonna slowly sink the hips, bring it back. And then pull yourself, come forward. Sink those hips, bring it back. Inhale, lift up. The more you go back, you might feel it a little bit more in the inner thigh. Maybe it feels really good and you just wanna hold it back there, which you absolutely can. Good, we're gonna do that one more time. Sink those hips back. Nice breath in. Exhale, let it go. And then from this position, you're just gonna kind of walk up onto your hands, come up to a kneeling position. Right hand comes down, that left arm floats up and over towards that right hand side. Stretch through the fingertips, lengthen out. Good, then you're gonna inhale, lift, come back up. Both hands come back down towards the ground. Keep reaching through your right back heel. Press into the palms, core is tight, float the leg, reach it out. And you're gonna bring it out towards the right about an inch. Feel that outer hip kick on. And then we're gonna slowly cross it behind the left. And then sinking back into a child's pose. And it's okay if the knees come up off the mat in the front. Feel a stretch in those front inner hips. One might feel more than the other. Pull yourself, come back up. Bring it over towards the right. And then hook it back behind again. Sink those hips back, child's pose. Inhale, pull yourself, lift up. Reach through your heel, kick the leg out to the side. 2 more of these. Bring it back, sink those hips back. Inhale, lift, pull yourself, reach through the heel, come out to the side. Back in 1 more. Just notice how the hips start to open up a little bit more. Inhale, lift, reach through the heel, fire up those glutes. And then bring it right back behind. Good, you're gonna inhale, pull yourself, come back up. And then we're gonna come up and we're gonna take our left leg. So same thing on the other side. That left leg comes straight out in front. Press into the left foot. It's okay if that knee goes forward over your toe. You really wanna open up the front of that right hip. Drive the right knee into the ground, almost like you're gonna drag it forward so you feel a bigger stretch in there. Inhale, lift the arms, come all the way up. Keep pressing into the left foot. And then slowly straighten it out. Hands come to those blocks or your chair or the ground. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward. Bend through the front knee, press into the foot. Inhale, lift those arms, come all the way up. You're gonna be careful that you don't arch too much from your low back so you can pull that core in, belly button to spine to help out. Straighten through the front thigh, pull that left hip back, right hip forward. Bend through the knee. 1 more time after this. Inhale, reach up through those fingertips. Exhale, hinge. And just check, do you notice a difference from the left back of your thigh, the right front hip compared to the other side? Bend through that knee. Inhale, lift those arms, come up. Okay, so from here, we straighten that front leg. Slowly walk your hands over towards the right hand side. That left leg stays nice and straight. Then just sink the hips back. And then pull yourself, come back up. Sink the hips back for a nice inner thigh stretch. Inhale, lift, come back up. Couple more times and just notice left side, right side, feeling any difference. Good, 1 more. Now this next time, we're gonna slowly pull ourselves, come all the way up. Come up to a kneeling position. Left hand comes down to the thigh. You're squeezing the thigh, pull the core in, right arm reaches up and over towards that left hand side. Stretch through the right fingertips, let the head get nice and heavy. Good, and then we're gonna inhale, lift, come back up. Both hands come down towards the mat. spin up onto those back toes. Press into the palms, pull that core nice and tight, float the leg. So you're reaching through your heel. So you reach through the heel, you feel your glute fire up. Slowly bring it over towards the left just a little so the outer hip kicks on, and then hook that leg behind your right. Sink the hips back. Inhale, lift, pull yourself. Reach through the heel, bring it over to the side, and then cross back behind. Inhale, lift, pull up. Drive the heel out. Make sure those toes are facing the ground. Sink it back one more time after this. Good. Lift, press into the palms, reach to the side, belly button to spine. Hook those legs. And then inhale, pull yourself, come back up. Reach through the heel, last one. Okay. Inhale, come all the way back up. And then you're just gonna come to a seated position. Okay. We're gonna bring both feet out in front. So they're a little wider than hip distance apart. You're pressing into your palms, opening through your chest, and the knees are gonna go to the right hand side. You're gonna keep pressing into your right arm. Drive both of your knees down in towards the ground as the left arm floats up. And you keep reaching the left arm towards the back wall as you slowly rotate that chest down towards the ground. Reach through those fingertips, keep pressing the knees into the ground. Inhale, lift, come back up. We're going to that left hand side. Drop the knees to the left. Press the knees into the ground, press into the left hand, arm floats up towards the ceiling. Keep reaching through those fingertips as you gently rotate the chest towards the ground. Good, one more time each side. Inhale, come back up. Legs go over towards the right. Press into the right hand. Left arm reaches up behind you and you're twisting that body down towards the ground while still pressing those knees in to the ground. Pull yourself back up. Last time, over towards that left hand side. Drive the knees into the ground. Press into the left hand, right arm reaches up overhead. Stretch through the fingertips. Good. Inhale, lift, come back up. Okay, so for this last one, you yogis have a choice. So you can either choose, we're gonna do pigeon pose, so we're gonna stretch out those hips. So for pigeon, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your right knee, bring your right knee to the back of your right wrist. Make sure you kind of square those hips off. And then just walk down onto those forearms, getting nice and heavy over that leg. So if this is your choice, hang out here. I want you to take a couple breaths. If you want to see the other option, that is going to be coming onto your backs. Take your right ankle to your left knee. Then you're going to hook your hands behind. Let your head get nice and heavy and kind of relaxing down into this figure four stretch. This might feel like it's too much, so you can always keep the left foot on the ground and just press in to that right hip. So whichever your choice is, we're gonna hang out there for a couple more breaths, really trying to open up that hip, sink down into it. If you're in pigeon pose, make sure your hips are nice and even and you're not listing to one side or the other. Good, we're gonna do one more breath here. Exhale, let it go. Pigeon pose, slowly start walking your hands back towards your front shin and just switch to the other side. If you're on your back, take the left ankle to your right knee. Foot can stay on the ground. You can reach your hand, hook behind. Or if you wanted that pigeon pose on the left, you take your left wrist to the back, your left knee to the back of your left wrist. Square those hips off and then slowly walk down over it. And compare your sides. Is one side easier than the other? Is one side a little bit tighter than the other? Nice breath in through your nose. Exhale, let it go. Good, and slowly take your last breath in. Exhale, if you're on your back, let go of that leg. If you're in pigeon, walk your hands back towards your front shin. If you're on your back, stay there. Pigeon pose, we're headed towards our backs. Just get heavy on your mat. You're gonna lengthen out through the legs. Hands come resting down by your side. It's just time for resting pose, so Shavasana. Gently close your eyes and just do a quick tune into your body. Check and see how the shoulders feel, how your neck's feeling, the pressure in between your shoulder blades, the curve of your low back. Notice any tension, or maybe the muscles are a little bit warmer and loosed up around your hip. Noticing your feet, if one foot's turned out more than on one side than the other. You take a nice breath in through your nose. Exhale, let it go one more time. Nice breath in through your nose. Exhale, let it go. And just gently bring those knees in towards your chest. And gently roll onto one side. Make your way up to a comfortable seated position. And we're just going to take one last deep cleansing breath in. Lift those arms, come all the way up overhead. Exhale, bring those hands down towards heart center. So I hope you learned some new tips and tricks to help with those tight and painful hips. Please let me know if you have any questions down below, or if there's something else that you would like to see. And until next time, I'll catch you later. Namaste.